Hi guys, my name is Lucy from Japan and welcome back to my channel. Today I have very bad news for the Vietnamese people. According to an announcement by Japanese Imperial Household Agency, it has been officially decided that Prince Akishino, also known as Prince Fumihito, and his wife Kiko will visit Vietnam for about a week for the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Japan and Vietnam, which is scheduled to take place in late September 2023. As I mentioned in my past video, dated July 8th, Prince Akishino and Kiko have the worst reputation in Japan, and it is a disgrace to Japan and very disrespectful to Vietnam to send such the worst members of the imperial family who are hated by the Japanese to Vietnam representing Japan. The news that Prince Akishino and Kiko will be making an official visit to Vietnam has received so many negative comments on Japanese news sites opposing to this decision. Most of them saying that it is disrespectful to Vietnam for sending Akishino and Kiko, or that Akishino and Kiko have no sense of diplomacy. I myself fully agree with these comments. In particular, the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations is a milestone year for both countries, and the Japanese government should have arranged the Japanese head of state, the Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako, to visit Vietnam in response to the invitation from the Vietnamese government. Vietnam is a very strong, proud, and such a great country, defeated the United States in war, and General Secretary Mr. Gwen Hu Chun has published a book entitled "Firmly Adhere to Anti-Corruption Measures to Contribute to the Construction and Consolidation of the Party and the Nation," which is aimed at eliminating political corruption and malpractice. In my opinion, the attendance of Akishino and Kiko, who have been rumored to have various suspicions using imperial privileges, at a commemorative event with such a great country will have a negative impact on diplomatic relations between Vietnam and Japan. Akishino and Kiko's lack of diplomatic skill and shabbiness was also obvious at the coronation of King Charles of the United Kingdom in May. The couple attended the coronation on a government plane using taxpayers' money, rented out an entire floor of the top-rated Claridge's hotel, and spent $420,000 for just only hotel expenses. Yet they were unable to give a proper answer to the interview asking for their impression of the coronation, and received a cold reaction by King Charles. Japanese people were disgusted that Akishino and Kiko are so useless, unable to answer such an easy question like how they felt attending the coronation ceremony. And as a result, I have no idea what they were doing there. It was like they went to the United Kingdom to be humiliated. The hotel charge was 4 times that of Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako, who attended the state funeral of Queen Elizabeth II in September last year. So the Japanese people dislike Akishino and Kiko for wasting the taxpayers' money to spend more luxurious than the emperor, even though he is still a prince, not the emperor. In addition, even if they participate in ceremonies on behalf of the emperor, they are completely useless due to their lack of ability, since they have no language skills or communication skills and no close friends among foreign royal families. So please see the URL to my video on the coronation ceremony in the description below. And what is even more unacceptable for me is the biased media coverage in Japan. Major media outlets that distribute TV and online news often report news that is not true. For example, sometimes scandals involving Japanese politicians or sexual abuse on hundreds of boys continues more than 50 years by Johnny Kitagawa, the founder of Johnny and Associate, which are the biggest boys band entertainment companies in Japan, often go completely unreported on TV news, even though they are very hot subject on social media. Of course, Akishino and Kiko's son, Prince Hisahito's plagiarism issue, his mysterious admission to high school, and the various allegations that Akishino and Kiko themselves seem to be involved in are not reported on TV. It seems that the Japanese media are also not telling the truth to the Japanese people about this visit to Vietnam by Akishino and Kiko. The invitation from the Vietnamese government to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Japan and Vietnam was addressed to Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako. However, this truth was not reported in the Japanese news, and we learned the truth from Vietnamese news through the internet. In September 2022, the former president of Vietnam, Nguyen Xuan Phuc, visited Japan for the state funeral of former Japanese Prime Minister Abe. At the time, he met with Emperor Naruhito of Japan, and according to the article saying that President Phuc also met with Japanese Emperor Naruhito following the funeral, conveying the invitation of Party General Secretary Nguyen Phu Trong and himself to the Emperor and Empress to visit Vietnam on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the bilateral diplomatic ties in 2023. The Japanese media reported the news of the meeting between Emperor Naruhito and President Nguyen Xuan Phuc in September 2022, but never reported what they discussed, the contents of the conversation. I believe that the fact that the Emperor and Empress were invited to Vietnam was intentionally hidden. On the contrary, according to Japanese news reports on August 10, this year marks the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Japan and Vietnam, and early this month, the Vietnamese government invited Akishino and Kiko to come to Vietnam. Compared to the news from Vietnam in September 2022, the Japanese press is wrong. If you only know the Japanese media, you may believe that the Vietnamese government invited Akishino and Kiko, but the truth is that the Vietnamese government already invited Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako in September last year. Why is the Japanese news changing the story to pretend the Vietnamese government invited Akishino and Kiko? Or did the Japanese media lie to the public because they thought Japanese people can never know foreign news? In my opinion, biased Japanese media coverage is a huge problem in Japan. How would you feel if you invited King Charles but Prince Andrew or ex-Prince Harry came instead? And if the UK media never reported that you invited King Charles and reported you invited Prince Andrew or ex-Prince Harry, wouldn't you feel that the media is lying? The fact is that former President Nguyen Xuan Phuc came to Japan last September to attend the state funeral of former Prime Minister Abe, and Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako were invited in the names of both the General Secretary of the Communist Party and President of Vietnam. But somehow the story was switched to Akishino and Kiko are to visit. If Akishino and Kiko visit Vietnam, intercepting the invitation addressed to the Emperor and Empress, the Japanese media must report the whole story based on the fact. And this is exactly the same problem that happened at the coronation of the United Kingdom in May. At the British coronation, King Charles' intention was to have his close friends celebrate this coronation, and the invitation from the British royal family said that the head of state would be invited. Since the Emperor Naruhito was not only the head of state, but also a friend of King Charles for 40 years, many Japanese people thought that Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako would be invited from Japan, and the invitation was actually addressed to Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako. However, the invitation was intercepted by Akishino and Kiko, who are disliked by the British royal family and other European royal families. The invitation was for the head of state, and if the head of state was unable to attend, the crown prince would be invited in his place. But strictly speaking, Prince Akishino has the right to succeed the throne, but he is not officially the crown prince. Furthermore, in early May, Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako had no important plans that would require them to decline King Charles' invitation. Many citizens disagreed with the Imperial Household Agency as Japanese government. The story of the UK coronation is again repeated on our 50th anniversary of Vietnam and Japan. The Japanese people are very much wondering why the Japanese government and the Imperial Household Agency are incapable for making the right decision. And we are becoming so angry. I will be very happy to hear from Vietnamese people about why Akishino and Kiko are going to visit Vietnam this time, and if the invitation was truly addressed to Akishino and Kiko instead of Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako. I would also be happy if you could share this information with us. That's all I'd like to say today. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like the video. And if you want to know more truths of Japanese imperial family, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.